All right, we are on. All right, so welcome everybody. Today is not February, it is Tuesday, March 24th. And I'm going to call the meeting to order. I guess we'll start with attendance.
Okay, Richard Klein,
Here.
Eric Talbot,
Here.
Michael Aronson, here, Pamela Nelson, here, Holly Thurston, here, and Sharon White.
Here, all right, and I think everybody here will be a voting member. So I guess the first thing is the approval of the minutes from the last month meeting. I was not present. I think we have, we do have four members. Yeah, Michael, Eric, Holly, and Rich were at the last meeting. So of those four, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
First, I make the motion to approve the minute.
Rich, my second.
All right, and any objections from those four? None. All right, we're good. Those minutes are approved. I'll leave these here. I think you will sign. Yeah, yes, it's okay. All right, so we're just going to get right into the agenda. First up, we have new business. This is Planning Board 11-2023. So this is a request for it's a second request for an extension of the site plan for a proposed Popeyes restaurant, and we have assuming
Mr.
here.
Davis.
All
Yep.
right. So I'll let you bring the applicant in. Okay, so I see bring in Clifford Davis, Mr. Davis. We are going to just, you can give us an update on where you guys are with the pulling of a work permit and the kind of development of the project, where we kind of talked about the extension.
Yes, so my client got a little bit of a late start and there was a little bit of miscommunication with monies that were supposed to be put in escrow or whatever, and my client sent the check. Somehow it got lost for a little bit with the village. We straightened that out. So my understanding is they're going to be pulling the building permit very shortly. So I'm hoping, because this is from what I understand, my last extension. So
Right.
we've got to make it happen. So, I just want to make sure that you have the right name of my client. It's Ossining Dev, DEV LLC. So on any further extensions, it should have that.
Okay, that's noted.
And there's been no changes.
Okay, thanks. That was my next question. So all right, so it sounds like the work permit is in process, where you're just kind of final touches. It's a one.
Yeah, we received everything. It's actually we have a third party reviewing company that's doing the work. They already have it, so they're in the process of doing the review. So it's in process.
Great.
Good. Board members, any questions?
No.
No. Everything's the same.
And just for the record, this is a 1-year extension that's being requested.
Yes.
All right. Any, Tony, Valerie?
Nope.
Guys, no, nobody. All right. And just because it's an extension, there's no public hearing component.
Right.
Thank you, Taryn. And board members, sorry, any questions? None. All right. Can we have a motion to approve the extension?
Eric Talbot, I'll make a motion to approve the extension.
Rich Klein seconds.
All right, and we'll do a roll call.
Okay, Michael Aronson. Aye. Eric Talbot.
Aye.
Richard Klein,
Yes.
Pamela Nelson. Aye. Holly Thurston.
Aye.
And Sharon White.
All right, very good. Motion carries. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you very much. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Okay, moving right along. Next up is BAR 02-2026. This is for 24 campground, and it is a request for approval for a roof structure over a concrete patio. So do we have the applicant for 24 campground here? Not in here.
Oh, okay.
I see a hand up.
Thomas, I'm going to move you over as a pet. Oh my goodness.
All right,
Oh. Oh, good.
we're getting there.
Okay. Oh, but what can you use? Oh, because my thing is down. Oops. Oh, there we go. Hello. Okay.
You were in animation, then you were a background, but here you are.
Yeah.
All right, so if you can introduce yourself, we'll take your drawings and put them up on the screen on our end. And then if you could just walk us through, introduce yourself and then walk us through the project.
Okay, hello. I'm Thomas Honorado, and I just moved to Ossining last year. I closed April 25th on 24 Campwoods grounds, and there's a current concrete patio there that you can see the concrete slate, and I wanted to add a little cover there to make it somewhat of a porch with the decorative rails. So I I already have the board approval because, Austin, I don't know how familiar you are with Campwoods, that it's the leased land from the OMCA, the Ossining meeting, the Ossining Campwoods Meeting Association. And so they already approved me for revisions in August. That's why then I found an architect and then she drew up the plans. But it's more affordable if I come and present. So forgive me if I'm a biologist, not an architect. So this is not doesn't come as easy as cells and microscopes to me. But so basically we're going to put the 4 posts, and then after I shopped around for the architects and so on, they were saying that because it's only about 8 or 9 inches of concrete, that you need to have the regulations of the 4 or whatever below the frost line. So that's why they're going to put the 4 studs that you see in the diagram, and they're going to put the concrete stuff so it's nice and supported, and then decorative railings there from the materials that the contractor that I have already did. It's going to be just standard white and vertical, simple. I could always decorate it with like flower boxes and stuff. I just wanted to go simple because I had hornets, and I don't want any beautiful decorations where they can make new nests. So I kept keeping the design very simple with this. So that right there, you'll see it'll come up, it'll come out the covering up towards where you can on the concrete without the big tree interfering. So it'll be a cute little covered porch that I can sit in and then decorate for holidays. I don't know how much more you need me to go about technical.
No, that's perfect. Thank you so much. And you also noted, just for the record, that the I guess the conduit or the association there has already reviewed and approved this, which is I think, to this board.
Yeah, that was the easiest part. That was August of last year that they already did it. So
we'll try to make today easy as well.
oh, hopefully.
As long as we have all the information that we have, which it looks like we do. I want to open this up to the board for any questions about the scope of work.
Yeah, I have a question. Can we go back to, I think it's the very first picture?
The photos.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going up to the top. Yes, so yes, this picture here, if you'd scroll it down just a little, Maddie, maybe it's the opposite direction. This roof that's overhanging, I'm sure it's just a perspective issue, but I'm wondering in relationship to your porch that's gonna come out, is there any obstruction? Are they gonna be?
No, that's a perspective issue. So that's the other house that's across. So the roof line, from what I understand from the architect and so on, it's gonna come just a little bit under the loft window on top where your arrow is.
Okay.
And then it's very, very small. It's only gonna be 60 square foot total. So you see where the little drainage the grates are there? The post and that are gonna go like before that. So like right. So you see where I had the bag of the stuff I was giving away, like that. So it's not gonna interfere with them and their roof.
Okay. Okay, I just wasn't sure what I was looking at. Thank you.
Okay.
You said all the fencing and the verticals were white, right? It was like a white AZAC.
Yes, and I went with the AZ, whatever that's like the PVC coated wood, because it's easier to maintain, so you don't have to worry about it degrading and stuff over time. So it's just less maintenance.
Great. And it's a white aluminum gutter. Yes, it's white color. I think all those materials.
Yeah, whatever the shingles are, I forgot what color I chose, but they put it down in the thing, so the shingles won't be white.
Yeah. Existing, right? So you're just gonna match what you have on the house's roof.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other questions from the board?
Go for it.
All right. Can I have a motion to open a public hearing on the application?
Michael Aronson, motion to open a public hearing.
Is there anybody in the room to speak with this application?
Eric, Thomas, second.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you could second that. That'd be helpful right there. No problem.
Oh, May 2nd?
No, you.
No. We're good. That was me getting ahead of myself. Any objections? No objections. I don't see any, then the motion carries. We're now in a public hearing. Is there anybody in the attendees list who would like to speak to this application? You can use the hand raise function. Don't see anybody there. Previously, didn't see anybody in the room. Can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
First, I make the motion to close the public hearing.
Rich Klein, second.
Any objections to that? I waited on time. None heard. All right, the public hearing is now closed. I think this application was very sufficiently described. Clearly, the materials are clear, the drawings were clear, and it was approved by the condo association. With that in mind, can I have a motion to approve the application
Rich Klein, motion to approve.
Michael Aronson, second.
and a roll call?
Okay, Michael Aronson,
Aye.
Eric Talbot,
Aye.
Richard Klein,
Aye.
Pamela Nelson,
Aye.
Holly Thurston,
Aye.
and Chair Roy.
Let's go slower.
Yeah.
Aye. Thank you very much. You're approved from this board, so just keep in mind, though, you need to make sure that you get, the next step is to get the actual building permit from Joe. So so this is the, probably like the penultimate, hurdle for you on this application.
So basically, do I get an official letter from you saying that you approved it, and then I send that to my architect and to the building inspector?
Yeah, I mean, you'll get a resolution signed by me, that says that this was approved. That goes to Joe, actually, and then that will allow Joe to finalize your work permit. But ultimately, you need a work permit from Joe.
And you get and you get a copy as
You'll
well.
get a copy of that as well, for sure.
Oh, good. Then hopefully, if everything is done by May 1st, you come when you do the Jane walk around. I think you come and see my new thing. Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks.
Welcome to Ossining.
Yay! Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, so next up on the agenda, we have, it's another BAR. This is for 2 Acker Avenue. And this is a request for BAR approval to the renovation of 2 stories of enclosed porches. All right, so Danny, introduce yourself and the project. Thanks.
We have a legalization of existing work that has been done to the structure. The owner has replaced the siding and the windows. And there's a 3rd-story enclosed porch that he eliminated a couple windows. And basically, just hoping you like it.
All right, so I see there's 2 sets of photos. You refer to this as a legalization. So we have the before this work had started and then the
Yeah, this is
after.
The last 2, that's before. And the one on the upper level and to the left are all new.
All right, so that roof, and we should probably also look at the drawings as well, but just before we move over there, let's just,
So get a visual, so you see
Yeah.
that the 3rd floor porch that has a glass enclosure, but that was replaced with a regular window and winterized.
and what was there before?
It was just open space.
Do we have that, is that photo? Oh, is that, maybe I'm not seeing it here.
Are you talking? I'm lost.
Yeah,
Is that a picture?
Those look like the same photo, right? Where like these, all 4 views are almost kind of equivalent.
Well, the new one is where the windows were replaced, which is this one. I don't know if you have.
Is that it's the one on the first one on the right side?
Yeah,
Right.
it's actually in the middle, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So, right, so previously it was like a double window and a single,
Correct.
that was fully sided in and a single.
So, yeah, it was previously all those windows and those porches, and now they've been enclosed for living space, is that
Correct.
correct?
Yeah, and there was a small alteration in the kitchen. and
Right.
Pretty much.
But just to give the board a little background on this, they started the work without a permit. We gave them a stop work order. And they continued to violate the stop work order and continue on to what you're seeing today in those pictures.
Okay,
And this actually occurred a number of months ago and they were given violations. So they're trying to satisfy the violations now by going through the process of legalizing this, but it basically changed from what you see in the pictures on the left to the right, because they continued to work until they got to this point and until they eventually stopped and they got court appearance tickets.
Oh, just a little remark, I don't wanna excuse plan for doing work without permit, but the building was open up, the installation was open to the weather, to rain, so he had to cover it in order not to lose the.
Yeah, no, I mean, for the purpose of this hearing, we need to look at the what's being proposed to be built and make sure that is appropriate. Maybe we can move over to the drawings. So this is, I guess, those boxes are showing the proposed area, the proposed changes. And the siding is, I mean, it looks like the siding is being replaced throughout the entire
Correct.
structure so that it'll all be
Like,
uniform.
Yes.
Any other windows being fitted as part of this work, or is it just the windows on in the box areas that you're
I
making,
mean, all the windows were.
all of the windows being replaced? Okay, throughout the entire house. Okay. All right, can we go down just to the next row of buildings? Because this is just the opposite, the opposite two views. And all of the exterior woodwork is being painted white, it looks like from the photos, or is it a natural wood color? I was trying to, it looks in the photos, look like that porch on the right bottom, which was previously like a brown wood color, is being.
The trim is white, but the stairs remain pressure treated. We're painting the stairs,
Are we painting them now or?
no pressure on it.
What do the drawings say on the stairs?
The stairs are pressure treated, so I mean, that's the only element which is different color from the gray and white that we have.
Just hard to read that note.
On the elevation.
Board members,
Well, I'm just
questions?
a little confused as to if you could just sort of identify what work is already completed and what work is left to be done, because I'm just a little confused from looking at the pictures.
All the siding and window is done, the work inside on the kitchen is not.
In terms of exterior work, all the exterior work is done, so there won't be, what we're looking at is the finished product
Correct.
minus any touch-ups or trim or what have you. So, and then the interior work, as you said, which we're not really reviewing.
Just in terms of material, the revised massing, any, kind of comments in terms of, the size? I mean, it looks like you're not adding any square footage or volume, it's just the incorporation of those porches. Any comments related to that from the board?
I mean, I guess it would be helpful just to clarify that the stairs are going to remain as are, or will they be painted? That would be helpful, and
Right now, they're remaining as they are. If you would like us to paint it white, we would do it.
not necessarily.
No, I actually don't think I would want that.
I mean, it sort of, it is what it is, so, at this point, I feel that. I mean, it seems okay. It seems like the enclosures
It's unified,
are unified, yes.
and it's much better looking than it was before.
Yes, I would agree.
I would agree with that too. That's looking unified. Can I ask you a question? Is the staircase stayed? That is staying on that?
Pressure treated,
It's
that
pressure- okay.
stain, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So what we're looking at, I just want to be clear, just for the record, so what we're looking at in that photo is the final design intent. That's what's built next. So got it. Other comments from the board or questions? Can I have a motion to open the public hearing application?
Michael Aaron's, a motion to open a public hearing?
Right, any objections to that? There are none. We're now in the public hearing. Is there anybody in this room who'd like to speak to this application? Don't see anybody. Is there anybody on Zoom who would like to speak to this application? You can use the hand raise function. And I don't see anybody. So just before we proceed, just you know, I think if everybody on the board, it sounds like from the comments that I've heard, that there's a comfort level with what's being proposed. I think I personally agree. I think it's been a lot nicer than what was there before. It's a shame that this didn't come to this board for that opinion beforehand, because I know there's a lot of risk. You do a lot of work. If it's not appropriate, then you could potentially have to remove stuff. But I think with that being said, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Eric Talbot, I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Rich Klein second.
All right, any objections to that?
None.
There are none. All right, the public hearing is closed. So I think, based on the conversation that we had, and I think really, I don't know if there's any conditions, but I think we were maybe just in the resolution, we can refer to the photographs for the examples of finished materials, including the wood stairs, which I think was something that came up in the hearing. Can we have a motion to approve the application?
First, I make the motion to approve the application.
Rich Klein second.
All right, and we'll do a roll call.
Okay. Michael Aronson. Aye. Eric Talbot.
Aye.
Richard Klein.
Aye.
Pamela Nelson. Aye. Holly Thurston. Aye. And Chair Seth Roy.
That was very good, much faster.
Thank you.
All right, so I think you know the drill here, so but we'll have the resolution passed, but you guys have, I think, a few hurdles before work actually resumes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Have a good.
You too. Okay, so another BAR, we have a 41 Sunset Drive, and this is a BAR application for proposed or rear yard sunroom outdoor condition, sorry.
Screen and porch.
Yes. So we can have.
Amanda, can you start with the pictures, please?
I sure can. Am I going right past them?
No.
Oh, here, photo. I was looking at elevation.
So there's an existing screen and porch in the back that was hit by a tree.
I'm so sorry. Before you get started, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Lou DeMacy, I'm the architect on the project. Thank you. So there was an existing screen and porch in the back of the house that was hit by a tree about 2 years ago, a little less than 2 years ago. So what we're looking to do is recreate the same screen and porch, just a little bit bigger, and update the staircase because it doesn't conform to today's code.
All right, and do we have drawings of this?
Yeah, so I didn't realize that we had to come to the architecture board to replace this, so I don't have really elevations, it's just a detail of structure and a section. But all the materials are gonna be white. The roof is gonna match the existing shingles, and all the, the material is gonna be AZAC, and the screens are just basically screens. They're just gonna be, black screens. The posts on the bottom are gonna be pressure treated, and it's gonna stay that way. And that's basically it. It's just a elevated roof structure that's covered with screens.
Is there a plan view that shows the degree to which this is being enlarged?
Sure, it's right there. So it's 2 foot bigger.
I mean, the piece that you just referred to is like, I don't see any elevations or just to kind of get, there's.
Yeah, because we were replacing it, just made it a little bit bigger. So you can see from the pictures what it used to look like. And it's replacing it.
And I'm gonna put this out to the board.
Oh, I was gonna say I wanted to see what it.
This is in the back, right?
So,
Yes,
go ahead, Rich.
I said.
yeah, I answered his question, you said it was in the back.
So, but it's still gonna be elevated
Yeah.
as is, but screened in completely,
Just on the top.
just on when you say on the top,
So see how the bottom is open? Bottom's open, the top is the part that's screened in.
okay.
Is there any change to the side base? Because like right now, you're making that larger. Are you adding any mullions or the same?
Yeah, there's gonna be a broken up, mullion in between, because the screens you can't get too large.
And the posts are.
Posts on the top are gonna be wrapped in AZAC, the ones on the bottom are gonna stay as pressure treated.
And what about the stair?
Stair is gonna be white.
Are you doing anything to the siding on the house? Is that stringer like is it in front of the siding or is it,
Yeah, we're gonna replace the siding and also on the other side, because it was damaged by the tree that needs to be replaced too.
and how's
That's
that,
in kind.
how's that gonna relate to that? Are you making any changes to that door and window down there for the stair? I'm assuming you're making the stair less steep to make, or you're bending
We're
it?
moving the stair over, so it's not touching the house. And we're gonna patch in that siding. Nothing's gonna be changed for the window or the door.
We just go back to the plan. I mean, again, like I'm struggling a little bit with the elevations, but I also do,
I apologize, but
No, no, no,
it was just a
I-
replacement, so.
more just opening up to this board, because
Yeah.
I'm just one person here, though. But I think if people feel like this is
It's a little bit of a hardship
sufficiently
for the owner too.
described.
So it overhangs the footings, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, the footings are gonna be flush with,
Flush.
yeah, just like it is now. Yeah, just like it is. We're replacing the footings because the footings were undersized, so they need to
Yeah.
replace them. So we just thought to make it a little bit bigger would just be better. And we're conforming to setbacks. It's not an issue with setbacks or anything like that.
No variances.
No variances.
So, I mean, like, I guess the question for the board at this point is, I mean, the materials are described and the size is described in plan, so, it is defined. I would, like I said, to be evaluating the architectural impact, it'd be good to see drawings of what, we always ask for drawings of what's being shown here. We do have the photos, so, but I would like to get, if people on the board feel that what's been presented is adequate, I mean, I want to have that conversation, but I want to
Yeah,
hear
I
that
think
from you.
for this project, I think it's adequate. I don't think I need to see anything else.
I mean, I would prefer to have the elevations, but again, I don't want to hold it up. It's tough because we're not seeing what we're really approving in terms of.
I agree with that. I think, I mean, since it's in the rear of the house, I mean, it will have less of an impact on what the street view, but I'm curious about what the other houses around, how the views are around that. This is not a big extension. It's basically just a replacement in kind. But I do agree with Michael that it is hard to, approve something that you can't see, but I do think you provided,
I appreciate
some good
that.
context.
Yeah, so the backyard is really 9A.
Okay, that helps.
That-
I mean, that's,
There's nobody back there.
yeah, so I mean.
And the neighbors on the side want to see this thing fixed, so
Yeah.
they're not gonna have a problem.
Right, so-
with the look of it.
So that helps the conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, for me,
Was this neighborhood built clearly as a development? Because it looks like at least this house and the one next to it look the same.
Yeah, and the one on the other side are very, is
oh,
very
yeah,
similar
no, some sort, of course.
up the street. A little bit different, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I know it's true.
Actually, it's sunrise, it has the name, you can see the sunrise from there, it's pretty.
Nice views. And Holly, Pam, just any thoughts on the documentation?
I think for what it is, I'm fine with what was provided.
Okay. We have a motion to open the public hearing.
Eric Talbot, I make a motion to open the public hearing.
Which one second?
All right, any objections to that? We're now in a public hearing. Is there anybody in the room to speak to the application? I do not see anybody in the room. Is there anybody on Zoom? Use the hand raise function if you'd like to speak to this application. And I don't see that. All right, so the project has been described in photograph, in plan, and in section. Materials are clear. I mean, the size, like, to me, like, we're evaluating scale. And, I'm a little bit torn on it, but I'm kind of hearing what everybody's, I think, kind of taking a pragmatic approach on this one. Seems, I can kind of go with that if that's the consensus on the group. I just like, for me, it's just, we see lots of applications in front of this board. And we're always asking for drawings because that's how we define what we review, right? And so I just want to make sure that we're, if we're saying that the documentation that they provided is adequate, just understanding that, the fact that it's, abutting a highway, that it's, the current house that I think is identical to the house next to it. And one of the things we try to protect against is over similarity. So this would be making a little bit of that, not much, but a minor change, so it'd be a positive improvement. We do have plans and drawings which are dimensioned, so it can't be any larger than what they're asking for. So I think in the sectional drawings, they'll document that material, so. I think I'm just making sure that we're kind of going through and Taryn, I'm just kind of like looking at specific,
Right,
points here that we can kind of point to that are unique to this project and the way that it was documented.
right. I mean, does the board feel that it has enough information to determine whether this proposal is excessively uniform or dissimilar or inappropriate or poor quality of design? That's what you're really tasked with
Yeah.
discerning under the code. If you feel that you don't have enough information to make that decision, then it would be appropriate for this board to adjourn the public hearing and ask for elevations as it typically does. But for the reasons you just said, because it's abutting 9A and there's screening between the neighbors and you've got the plans and material and whatnot, you could make a decision tonight if you're comfortable with it though.
And Seth, I think because it's fixing something that's already there, if it was a new porch, then I might have some issues.
Yeah.
But it's just fixing what's there.
Agree.
Right. All right, I'm hearing everybody and, I'm open to being convinced as well, so. We have a motion to, close the, public hearing.
Michael Aaron's motion to close the public hearing.
There's a second.
Right. Any objections to that? I don't see any, so I think based on what we just discussed, I think we're ready to have, a motion to approve the application. I think with all of the stipulations that we just put on the record, being on the record. So can we have that motion?
Rich Klein, motion to approve.
Holly Thurston, second.
And roll call.
Okay, Michael Aronson. Eric Talbot.
Aye.
Richard Klein.
Aye.
Pamela Nelson. I'm Holly Thurston. I'm Chair Roy.
And I just want to make sure for
Yeah.
the conditions, just make sure I'm correct. That all materials will be white roof will match the existing, the upper posts will be wrapped in AZAC materials.
Mhm.
And the lower posts are to be pressure treated and the stairs are white.
And these are all noted on the drawings as well, correct? So,
Yeah, and the screen is gonna be just the screen material.
Right.
okay.
And also for the record, when I do additions and new houses, you always get the elevation. Just this was fixing something kind of like in kind, a little bit bigger, obviously. But it was just replacing something that was there. So that's why I didn't draw out the elevation. So I apologize for that.
Right.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, all right, so next up on the agenda is, it's a 196 North Highland, so this is we're listing out here, we have a site plan conditional use and PAR approvals for a new mixed-use building. Just for the record, this is an application that we've seen, previously, I think it was, previously solution to the agenda, and now it's back on, as a new application. But I think, what we'll do here,
We're just confirming whether the applicant for 45 Central is adjourned, because if they are, we should make an announcement. So if anyone for the public is waiting for that application, you're
Got
not
it.
sitting. Is there anybody here for 45 Central? Is the applicant
So-
here?
is the applicant for 45 Central in the attendees list?
196.
I'm gonna hit pause on 196
I don't
before
wanna
this is,
wait.
yeah, no, exactly. I don't want to waste anyone's time. So this is just, I guess just an announcement
Yeah,
that 45 Central Avenue, which was on the agenda until I up here tonight, I was planning to discuss. But we've just found out that they are not going to be attending. So if you were here for that application, they will not be hearing. And I'm sorry if you've been hanging out waiting for something that's not going to happen.
thank you.
All right. Okay, so going back to 196 North Island. So JB, I'll let you kind of reintroduce the project. There are some new board members here who probably haven't seen it before. But then I think really what I want to do tonight is, because there is a lot of professional comments that have been put on this application. And I kind of having looked at it, I know that we're kind of in a similar place from where we were before. So I want to just kind of make sure that you guys as a design team know what the feedback has been, where you need to go with it before we can kind of move any further kind of with the design of that application. So that in mind, I'll pass the baton to you and you can present.
JB Hernandez, architect for the project. Like I said, just mentioned, this project was in front of the board on the prior ownership, and it was in 2019 was approved an architecture review board and site plan approval by then. We came back, that this is new ownership. The building, there's slight changes to the building design interior wise and addressing some of the comments that we had originally. This is gonna be a mixed use building. It has 8 units, 6 2-bedrooms, two 1-bedroom units. And we need to have 557 square feet retail space downstairs. One of the comments from the last time we were in front of the board was the smaller the size, so we have almost double the size. We created 775 square feet of retail and an office in the rear also for rental. Also, if you want to move to that site plan.
Okay.
Go down.
That's the existing site plan, right? That's
Yeah,
that's
that's
the flat.
the site plan. There. Continue down. So we do have 18 parking spaces. Now that we increase in the retail, the commercial portion at the bottom, we are asking for a reduction of the combination of parking spaces we need. Since we're gonna need 15 for the apartments, and we need 5 for the downstairs. And since the downstairs is gonna be open during the day and, close up there in the evening when most of the apartments will require their parking, we seeking a reduction by 2 of the parking spaces. There is things that we have done since we started this time with the new ownership, like I said, and we already did the testing for the stormwater that in the past we haven't been able to either witness or work on it. So now it's done. We also are moving, we will be filing with the DOT for the curb cut, and we are working to secure the easement of the relocation of the easement that is existing for 25 Cedar Lane, which is the property in the back.
The easement, that got brought up, and I think that'll be part of our conversation. Can you just describe what easement you're talking about?
There is an existing sewer easement. So to give you a little bit of history, 25 Cedar Lane on this property at one point were one. And there's the connection to Highland Avenue from the house on the top. So there is an easement that right now runs through the center of the path. So we will be proposing to shift that easement to the one side in order to be able to do the construction of the building and have no issue in the future with the easement. There's also the exploration of, can we connect now to the Cedar Lane sewer for the house, which is another something that's been in play.
Right, so that the house on Cedar Lane has their sewer, because it used to be one big lot, was connected down all the way down to
Right.
to Route 9.
Right.
And so one thought, and so that's in your way effectively.
Yes,
So one thought is if that house can be connected up onto the sewer on Cedar Lane, then that's no longer an issue for this.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it.
So that's one thing we're looking into. Otherwise, we will have to redo the easement. We still give them the easement, but it will have to be moved to the one side or the other of the property.
Right, and there's, okay, so it's understood. That's a major, obviously,
Yeah.
a major issue that needs to be resolved, because I think it also probably ties into how this proposed property is tying into the sewer as well,
Yeah.
right? Because, okay, so it sounds like there's a lot in play there. I think,
I do see a hand up, so I'm not sure if that's someone who wants to comment or if that's someone you mentioned is on the applicant team.
I think it's the applicant.
is that the applicant?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. applicant
Kimberly?
can definitely come in.
Okay.
Just for one quick question on this. There's an existing line from 25 Cedar
Yes,
out to Highland Avenue, so it's operational,
Yes,
not needed for your project.
no,
And so if in fact you were successful in getting this easement, 25 Cedar having their own hookup, you would actually remove that sewer line as part of this project, or?
Yes, yeah. But that's all,
I know.
right now, the easement is what stays there. And again, if we can resolve the issue, because there's a lot going on with Cedar Lane, sewer, the location, the height, and we will, need to have the neighbor.
It's marked as an important obstacle to
Yeah.
the site plan at this point.
Yeah.
Do you have a copy of that current easement agreement that you could submit to the board
Yeah.
for our review?
Yes, I
Thank
think
you.
it was part of the original subdivision, but we'll submit a copy of that.
I see the applicant has their hand up.
I
So,
believe-
Mr. Marco, did you want to just add anything on this point? And I think you're muted, so we can't hear you.
Maybe the neighbor.
Is this the neighbor or this the applicant?
Maybe, no, Louis and Mario at the bottom are the applicants.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought,
Kimberly is not part of the applicant.
I thought, okay.
Uh,
So I apologize, Mr. Marco. We're actually gonna open a public hearing in a moment, and then we would like to hear your, but well, I'll tell you to hold off just for a moment, and we'll bring you back in a second.
Okay, great.
We misunderstood.
All right, great.
Okay, so, all right, so we've talked about, I think maybe this would be a good opportunity just to put some of the issues that have come up, before, and I know that we have memos from both Keller Sessions and from Nelson Pope on this application. Just some of the kind of the important issues that need to be resolved before we, as we kind of proceed with this. Maybe I'll start with you.
Yeah, I'll start, because we're just talking about the sewer. I have some questions on that sewer. First of all, you didn't put any rims and inverts, so it's hard to really.
Right,
Yeah.
we're not at that point.
The other issue that I noticed, if you look at the structural plans, the heel of the wall, the sewer, you have it running right now, pretty much on the heel of the wall, either under it or above it. So you might want to look at where you're placing that sewer as opposed to that heel of the wall. You don't want to stay clear of that. The other thing that's a big issue is you now are showing the proposed sewer from the new project tying into the existing service along with the new relocated service from 25. That would make that a public name. You'd have to apply to the health department standards.
Yes, that's,
So you'd want to maybe look at two separate connections.
yes, and we submitted as that has been.
Okay,
There will
okay.
be two different connections.
The other thing, and Joe might be able to add to this as well, it's my understanding that you possibly need access, aerial access to two sides of the building, and you have wires running across the front of that building. So really, you'd only get aerial access from the parking lot right now, unless you did something with the wires which run along the front of the building. I'm not great with fire code, but I think you might want to hash out.
I think there was a discussion that, eventually we need to have also with the
Yeah,
fire department.
and the services, and so we gotta find out if you need a fire service for that building as well as the domestic service you have hooked up right now, or you're showing proposed. I think a big part of this project is cut fill analysis. How many trucks are you running fill out of there? You're cutting a lot of fill out of there. I think it's like something like 20 feet in the back. Stormwater details and calculations. I asked for a full SWIP. And the other thing I've been confused about, and this was part of the previous design, you're showing all the stormwater flowing along I forget what side it is, but it's the left side of the parking lot, and you're proposing pervious pavers there, which is supposed to infiltrate. I was gonna say, if you do that, you're gonna need design for that, but when they did the testing, it was my understanding that you're shallow groundwater, that's why the engineer is now proposing detention instead of infiltration.
Yes,
So you're gonna have to relook at that, because pervious pavers aren't gonna work well with high groundwater.
and I think this is one of those where we have submitted, and I think that the test is done the same week after, so that we are changing.
So you're
that.
gonna probably
Yeah.
treat that in the detention
Yes.
system as well, and like I said, I'm gonna need all the counts, I'm gonna need the 1 to 100-year storm. And DOT, you had already mentioned, it's not just DOT for the curb cut, it's gonna be for any services you're hooking up, you're gonna need DOT approval for that. And those are my big items.
All right, Valerie?
All right, so I think where we left off with this particular project, seeker's still open. So ultimately we'll end up having to do a part 2 and part 3, but there's still, I think, additional information that's necessary before we even get to that point in the
In
project.
terms of declaring, an intent to be lead agency.
Well, you already did declare an intent to be lead agency, and we already circulated notices last time around, and the project is substantially the same.
Does that then carry over even though it's been renoticed, or how does that work? That could be a
Would you like
parent
to
question.
proceed?
When did we do the circulation?
I think it was like about a year or so.
That's
ago.
probably more than that.
No, maybe 2 years ago.
Might not hurt to just re-declare your intent and recirculate, because
Yeah,
it's
we
been a
can do
long
that.
time.
Is that something we can do
And
tonight?
the regulations have
Okay.
changed
Yeah.
since you guys have
That
done
was
this.
my, I was gonna request that.
Doesn't hurt to do it that way.
Yeah,
So we'll,
it's been a minute, so.
we'll reissue a notice of intent to be lead agency. So a few other things, one of the things that, JB, you're gonna need to take a look at is, the NC1 zoning district, has new minimum square footages for bedrooms.
We did make those changes.
And I didn't see that on the plans. It didn't look
Okay.
like they
I
met.
don't know if But we do have more than 750 for one bedrooms and 900.
Because that's not what the plans showed. I
So,
think the plan showed
Can we-
habitable as opposed to, if you can,
Put them up.
so. Go to the,
A101, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah, keep going. Just sequence.
okay, so if you, keep, so see how it says 2-bedroom apartment? That one says 901 square footage.
Yeah,
Well, there's other ones that,
one bedroom, 775, two bedrooms. I
it's,
think those are- We will double check the numbers, but
Yeah,
we're comfortable with that, because we did modify the floor plans that interiorly too.
yeah, so the bedrooms need to be 900 square feet for a 2-bedroom and 750 for
Yes.
1-bedroom. Okay.
Yeah. We have 947, 917,
Yeah, but the one,
775.
I don't know, I have to look at the plans that I had, because they were different. All right, so just take a look at that, and let's
Yes.
just confirm.
This is 140.
other items on.
Yeah,
Your list,
so
sorry.
the other thing is the, fire department, I think we left that off. That we still need to figure out in terms of emergency access. Because some of the apartments are gonna be, accessed from the rear, so we just need to probably get some sort of review on that. And then the landscaping, the last time we talked about that, we still had some replacement plants that we were proposing, and then also in terms of irrigation, maintenance, all of that.
Accessibility, right? 'Cause some of
Yeah.
these were like way
Yeah.
up on a hill and how they were to be accessed.
Trash location, we still had issues with that. Also, then the sewer easement we already talked about, and then the last thing I just wanted to raise is the last time you were before the board, the BAR had some concerns with the overall architecture of the building, as well as the proposed, square footage for commercial space. And I think both of those are still outstanding, because I didn't see any major changes within the plans themselves.
Well, we did change the commercial space.
You're still not, I mean, I'm still noting that it's very small compared to the rest of the
Well,
building, right?
More than 10%.
Yeah, but I think the whole point
mean,
of
it's
this
the
is
whole-
it's a neighborhood center 1 district, which is supposed to have non-residential on the bottom. And with the ability to have residential above, as opposed to, a district we're supposed
I
to,
mean, I'm trying to understand if we have, I understand before we have 557 square feet. Now that we have 1,200 square feet.
well, that's the thing, because right now, if you scroll up, you have 725, but then you have
Office.
office, but then it's not really clear what that office space, how that's gonna get accessed, and it looks like maybe from there, it's just,
Is there even I guess there's room to put a bathroom in that office space? I'm just like, you're showing one in the commercial space in the front, which is,
All right,
I
we
think
can
the
add
concern
a,
is whether these are actually viable commercial
Right.
spaces.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's just a concern.
okay.
right, I mean, I guess the whole point of the emphasis with this project, and I'm just raising it, is on the residential piece and not anything else, and this is a commercial corridor, and
yeah, and that was one of the main, I think, thrusts of the conversations the last time this was in front of the board. and I just highlighting the VAR component, and maybe we just put that elevation up there, because it's like, it still throws me off every time I see it, and I know that I think maybe before we never got to the point of seeing some additional, renderings. But yeah, that top drawing, because I know that like, one of the things that was always kind of tricky to understand about this project was the cantilever, right? So
Yeah,
the building is, the northern half of the building is cantilevered, and then the parking lot continues. But in order to enter the parking lot, I guess that pier, you see that stone wall, which like stops like awkwardly. And we've talked about resolving that. Was probably one of the main issues. It just looks weird. Is kind of resolving that building elevation with your parking entrance. And I don't know that was really ever done.
And I think the
Okay.
north elevation of that same parking is somewhat disturbing. I'm not clear. It just, yeah, no, not that drawing. There was another one.
Is that the north though? Is that the?
Yes, is that the north elevation right there? The left?
This is left side.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what I'm looking at with that wall, like, is the parking on the other side of that wall? And what are those doors leading to? Are they leading to the commercial space, or is that the parking behind it? It's,
okay.
Not clear.
We can give you a section through that, so. You know,
and I also, and, I'm not sure about the sort of ski Swiss Alps, toppings. in the middle. Well, I'm sorry if I'm not using proper architectural language, but those seem a little bit out of scale.
The dormers.
Thank you.
Newest BA number.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that, I mean, the architecture review board components, and I think also, I just wanted to, before I bring back to my clients, to clarify, if we did have a architecture review board approval, I understood that can stay unless we change the building.
I'm not aware, certainly when I was on the board, there was no, the last time this was in front of us, there was no.
No,
PR
there's been
approval.
approved, because this was approved originally.
Well, you
No.
said 2019, and I think that's before, this was
Certainly-
before.
Right, it's a new application.
I mean,
It's
I
a new
think I
application.
don't remember it. I think I might have
I-
joined it.
okay,
again.
so
I
I
remember.
understood as
what was
that, I'm not opposed to making changes, but, we presented to the client something and that's what they wanted, so I want to make sure that when I go back to the client and we talk about this changes, that I'm not misrepresenting that the architectural review board, if I understood, it has no expiration in approval.
Is that true?
No,
I don't believe it was
this is
approved.
not on, but
It was approved, yes.
if
And that's
anything was
that form?
approved, it's not for this project that you have right now in front of you. For
No, the
VAR.
project has not, the site plan has changed.
But it doesn't, they're tied together.
For all intents and purposes, it's a new project.
Right, it's a new
It's not the
project.
same project just because it's
Right.
on the same site.
So for my own edification, so again, because I was told a few times in the past that.
In
architecture
VAR,
review-
if it's a VAR standalone application, that's different, right? If you're doing a small addition to your home. But this is the building doesn't exist, so you don't even have architectural approval for a building that doesn't exist.
Okay,
And we're gonna take a look and see what was specifically previously approved, because if
yeah,
it
I
has,
can
if it
send you
has,
the resolution.
if the site plan is changed, the site plan and the BAR, they're intertwined,
Right.
they're related.
Yeah.
So we'll
that's-
take a look and see what was previously approved. But I do recall that all these comments were in play
Yeah.
the last time you.
Yeah.
appointed
Yeah,
her.
and even the last time we looked at this, there were evolutions of the
Right.
exterior design. Yeah, so it's not been static. So clearly what we're looking at now is not the same as,
What was it?
I've seen that come before twice by
Yeah.
different owners.
Yeah,
Since I've been here since 2020.
Right.
so this is there'll be the third.
This is the
time.
third time.
Yes,
yeah. And for the record,
And I
also, I
think
think
you
the
were-
feedback from this
You were-
board and from the professional has been very consistent. So I think,
I cannot, yes.
yeah, no, I know, but I just want that on the record, that I think that what's been looked for has been pretty consistent. I do want to, Yes, yeah, I want to, move, because well, first of all, I want to make sure that we've hit on the comments from both of you guys in terms of Tony and Valerie's. Right, all those major issues have been touched on, and I think communicated clearly, both in this meeting and in, the memos. And kind of previous meetings of this board, but I know we do have, members of the public here to speak to the application, so, can I have a motion to open the public hearing on this application?
Michael Aronson, motion to open a public hearing.
Or Talbot second.
All right, any objections to that? We're now in a public hearing. I know that at the very least, we have, Ms. Kimberly DeMarco has been very patiently waiting, to speak to the application. So, Ms. DeMarco, you can introduce yourself, and you can, provide any feedback or thoughts that you have, that you can to discuss on this project.
Sure. I live at 27 Cedar Lane. I'm right next door to 25. I have a very minute corner. If you look at the drawing, I don't have I don't know how to do the graph on the computer, but so if you're looking at his new proposed building that he wants to build, there's I'm between the daycare center and Anthony. I'm sorry, I talk with my hands. I just wanted to know, so we have Anthony and I've discussed his his proposal, and we noticed that we were asking about fire escapes. We didn't see anything in the proposed plan. 18 parking spots is a little. I just don't feel that that area is able to handle 18 parking spots. And then I don't know if he still wanted the underground garage as he talked about last time. And we just want, my husband and I want to know, what kind of retaining wall is he going to put around the surrounding, like the side of the daycare, Anthony's house, down past the building? Is there going to be a buffer between his property, 27? Like I said, I only have a very minute corner of this property. And at one time he said that he was going to have the air conditioning unit over in that area, which would kind of cause a noise ordinance for, at least for the daycare. We're more concerned about the daycare next door, and what impact it could have on that. Those children are out, sometimes until 7 o'clock at night. And then the height and width of the building, he said that I think the lot is 12,000 feet. And the structure, I believe he said, was 4280, with 8 apartments, 6 being 2 bedroom, and then 2 1 bedroom. Um, and as somebody mentioned, it didn't seem that the allowed space for a 2 bedroom it was just a little bit bigger than normal. So we just wanted some clarification on what his plans are for where we live and where our property lines are. What is he going to put up there? Is it going to be greenage, or is the retaining wall just going to be like flower pots? That's all we really want to know.
Yeah, look, and your feedback, I'm just gonna just mention real quick, because I think that really outlines a lot of the objectives that this board has in evaluating the project. You notice parking, that's gonna be a question that there's 2 questions in terms of how many cars
Correct.
they need. And then we'll, evaluating the site plan to make sure that the cars that are gonna be there can fit. You mentioned underground parking. And I don't think there's nothing below grade. I think that this is one of the questions that I had posed a minute ago in terms of the way
Okay.
the building cantilevers over part of the parking lot. So that's something
Okay.
we're evaluating. I don't think that there's really an answer on that right now, because that's something that we, as a board, I think have a lot of work to kind of communicate with the applicant to make sure that, anything that's proposed, it does work. The retaining wall is a major question that, our consultants here are going to be looking at, to understand if that's designed properly, that it looks appropriate. So that is an objective of this board, is to evaluate that and make sure that's appropriate before anything gets approved.
Right, and drainage and,
100%.
water drainage. Okay.
Yeah, no, and that's something that will be, you know, that Keller Sessions has already been talking about. Buffers, landscaping is something that
Okay.
that we'll be looking at. I appreciate the comment on air conditioner and condensers. I think, you know, ensuring on your site plan, understanding how your HVAC is gonna be managed. I'm assuming there's some sort of, you know, it's probably, I'm a heat pump, I'm assuming. Where are those units gonna be located? I think like it's never too early in the design to start locating that, because that is potentially very impactful on the community.
Yeah, that's just basically, I didn't want it on that side with the daycare center on that side, because she does have quite a few children out during the day, and it can be a little noisy for them.
Yeah, no, understood. And then, just in terms of, I guess, just as a reminder, are there any zoning, variances that we're looking at on this application, and just in terms of the size of the property right now? No.
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Marco, yeah, I appreciate your questions and comments, and these are things that we'll be following through with, and there will be,
Thank you.
future opportunities to listen in if you can see how this goes. So pay attention to the agenda.
Will do. Thank you. Have a good night.
This is
too.
the daycare, it's the daycare on Cedar Lane, or that's the
Yeah.
daycare?
This is the daycare.
That's the daycare right there on North Island,
Oh.
yeah.
Or, right, I'm asking.
On this lot?
Yeah.
This was, no, this was just
I think it
a
was
front
not-
yard
'cause
of
we have this-
a building on Cedar Lane. So this was previously one lot that was subdivided, into two. Are there other people are there any other members of the public, here who to speak to this application? Just for the record, I don't see anybody raising their hand in the room. I don't see any other hands up. So can I have a motion to adjourn, the public hearing on this application?
Motion. Those in turn, you know what I'm talking about.
To adjourn, yes, I heard a motion to adjourn from Pam, in a second.
Michael Aaron's.
All right, any objections? There are none. All right, so the public hearing is adjourned. Have we touched all of our bases on this?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know where you are. What's that? Oh, right.
Oh,
We
yeah,
have an
notice of
opportunity-
intent to be lead agent.
Okay, so can we have a motion to declare our intent, to be lead agency?
Michael Aronson motion to declare intent to be lead agency on seeker.
Eric Talbot, second.
All right, and I guess this is not really a formal vote, right? So maybe, but just any objections to that from this board? I don't see any, so that motion carries, so Valerie, you're authorized to make that, post that notice.
Thank you.
All right, so thank you. Yeah, can I have just a motion now just to adjourn the agenda item for the,
Eric Talbot, motion to adjourn the agenda item.
Richard Glenn, second.
all right, any objections? I don't see any. The agenda item is adjourned. Just, we mentioned a minute ago that 45 Central Avenue is not appearing this evening. So that, I think we'll kind of get an update on that at our next meeting. I just want to make sure I'm continuing business. Are there
Yeah.
any projects that this board could kind of have be thinking about right now?
34 State Street is planning to come back shortly. 45 Central Avenue did adjourn. We may remove them depending on how that happens with the moratorium. Then we are still, for 59 Dale Avenue, they said they wanted to come back in April, so we'll see if they do. If not, maybe in April, we reach out to them. 209, 211 Main Street, they were before the village board. The village board had some concerns with having the sewer go out the rear of the property. So they would like the sewer lines to go out to the front of the property, and they are working with the village to identify what work would be done in terms of the parking lot and stormwater. So there will be some additional site plan changes to come back to this board.
Okay,
And the board did raise concerns with parking as well, so.
right, because that was also referred was that referred for parking for payment?
It was just to get like initial, it wasn't officially referred because we need to finish the seeker process, and they also need ZBA variances as well, so. But it was referred to the village board because of so much encroachment and proposed work on village property.
Right, it fronts and backs.
Yeah.
So, okay,
217 Main Street, they were in front of the village board for their payment in lieu of parking. And the village board seemed to be inclined to grant them the payment in lieu of parking, but then their engineer requested that the village board does not move forward with the actual acceptance of the payment in lieu of parking and not to make a decision, and that they may want to seek an interpretation from the zoning board of appeals as to whether that if this would apply for the payment in lieu of parking if they had residential at some point in time in the building. That's what it,
Okay,
so we'll see.
all right,
And 171 Croton Avenue, we are planning to have an internal meeting to kind of talk about next steps.
okay, so we'll keep an ear out for what happens, yes.
Yes.
All right, so that's helpful. Yes,
09 to 11, is that when we went to the site visit?
no, that was the site visit was 34 State Street.
No, I'm talking
Oh.
like a long time ago, that narrow alleyway.
Yeah, that project was, I think I've seen them working over
Are they
there.
working on
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, they're starting to get it. All right, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Or tell me, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Michael Aronson, second.
Any objections? None?
Have to
Awesome.
do a vote?
No.
Unless you're not in favor.
Yeah, you can object, I think even that one objection.
The owner is, we were at the project at 196. I own 192 and I just had a quick question. I wasn't able to get an answer before, and it's not related to planning board. It's just that the businesses there were assigned numbers like 190, 192, 194, 196 in the small development, but my tax bill is 192. How do I go about changing the address so that it's like Suite A, Suite B, Suite C, Suite D?
Okay, let's adjourn the meeting.
Which I did, I just
Oh, you
did.
did,
I
okay.
did.
All right, good night, Joe, good night, Jamie.